Now, for years, Karens have been suffering after their first names were co-opted to become a derogatory term for any white woman asking to speak to the manager. And now, Gen Z has updated Karen to Jessica. Firstly, I'd like to speak to the manager. And secondly, what do we make of this turn of events? Like, are these terms, is this helpful? Is this harmful?
You know, I generally think name calling is not good, but I did think it was helpful to an extent to illuminate a trend that we saw for a while, really kicked off in 2020, where white women were behaving very badly and weaponizing, in particular, their whiteness, often to harm black men. And it was something that felt uncomfortable to look at, but it was necessary, and it's hard to come up with a quick shorthand for something like that. So Karen was used. What quickly happened, though, and I think people noticed, was that it descended into something else. Oh, and I have the particular story of, like, friends. I have a friend who, she was in her own neighborhood, and she was complaining to another dog owner who was white. She's white, he was white, and saying, like, you can't, this is not an off-leash park, like, you're not picking up after your dog, whatever. And he called her a Karen. Yeah. And so there's so many examples of that where it's like, no, you're misusing this now. And then it started to become, like, steeped in misogyny and ageism. And it felt like it was just meant to just silence women.
Yeah, because,
anything.
I mean, you pointed this out. There is no male equivalent term for a Karen.
Well, they tried with Chad, right?
Well,
they tried, didn't really
stick.
stick.
I don't know, it didn't stick. And so I think that you're absolutely right. What this started out as was a lesson for all of us in privilege and understanding and unpacking privilege. And then it quickly turned into what so many things turn into, which is just trying to silence and police all women's behavior. And so the last time that I heard it was a bunch of young boys, actually, at my daughter's school. They were in the schoolyard calling a bunch of other girls a bunch of Karens.
Really?
Wow.
They have no idea what it means.
Yeah.
I'm like, sit down.
It gets watered down.
It gets watered down. I'm not your teacher, but go to detention. It has gone so far from that. And so I'm sorry, Jessica, because the Karen term has sort of lost its way. And so I don't think the Jessica one's going to stick, because look how fabulous she is.
Oh, my God. Well, yes.
No, but I'm going to go even further on this one. Has anybody ever heard somebody call another person a Jessica in a derogatory way? Exactly, because I think there's a conspiracy behind this. I think the Karens are behind this. Because it's 2026, and they are tired of being the butt of all of the bad behavior. So they're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna, oh yeah, everybody's calling them Jessicas now. Who's calling them Jessicas? Nobody.
No one is.
No one's doing it.
They're trying to make something stick.
The Karens are carrying, again, trying to make Jessica a thing, and Jessica is clearly not a thing. So Karens, I see you.
Wow. This is really reassuring.
I've never heard anybody use it that way.
Jessica, no offense to my friend over there, but I thought Brenda would have come before Jessica. Do you know what I mean? Don't you feel like
That's
a Brenda?
That's a very Karen thing to say.
Yeah, it is a Karen thing to say. It is.
How do you feel about this?
I don't think, well, I find it quite entertaining and quite humorous until it gets used, weaponized against me. Yeah. But the thing is with Jessica, I think the derogatory term only works or only has real power if we're taking this in a lighthearted direction, when it can't become a nickname. Like, I can go by Jess. I can go by Jessie. You're like, you're being a real Jessie? That doesn't have any weight. Jess, but Karen, like, there's no short form. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the short form saves me in this scenario.
Yeah, there's your out.
It's also not a real thing.
Yeah, it's also not real.
Oh my God.